Hey guys, Rexlent here. Welcome to another video for Duet the Abyss. This time for the new Hydro Summon based character, Ada. Basically, this is how you play her. Ultimate. And then you build an army. And that's it. Just watch her army attack everything, like so. So now let me talk about the skill details so you know what's going on over here. Right, before I talk about all these details over here, I'll just show it to you right away. So there's 3 icons at the bottom center of the map over here. And you notice there's also one water clone that follows Ada around. So this clone is called the World. It's always there permanently. It doesn't go away. The clone inherits 100% of Ada's stats and also the dual pistols that she uses. So you have to equip a dual pistol for her. So this clone has its own ammo reserve, and it will do this to enemies. It will just automatically attack enemies in range, like so. And eventually it will run out of ammo, so there are ways to refill this. So this is part of Ada's passive. You will always have the world following her. And next will be her normal skill, her E skill, summoning skill. Similar to Rebecca, every time you press E skill once, she will summon this minion called the Chariot. And whenever you summon a Chariot, there is a chance where her clone will also summon one more for you. It's 88% chance at level 10. So you can summon again, try summoning again. So when you have 4 Chariots, it will automatically combine into one Emperor, like so. So let me summon again. So 2 Chariots, I'll summon again. The icon at the bottom, it tells you you have 2 Emperors now and 2 Chariots, and it shows max over here. So you can only have 2 Emperors at max at any time. So let me just spam E skill all the way. So you can see the maximum, like so. So 8 Chariots maximum and 2 Emperors, like that. Any more you spam, they'll just replace each other. Like that. Now let me show you what they do when I put on enemies, like that. So approximately every 3 seconds, the Chariots will go to the enemy and perform a melee attack, like that. And then for the Emperor, they are range attacks, so also same interval. They will always shoot at enemies, like that. So this is what happens on top of the World clone, just shooting at all the enemy. Basically a really good AFK character. You just stay still, and then they'll just attack all the enemies that they see. Of course, the Chariot and Emperor has a time limit, so 25 seconds and 20 seconds. But don't worry, they have ways of replenishing themselves without you needing to do anything. Now let's move on to the last icon over here, down here. So this last icon can only be activated when she uses her ultimate. You already know that 4 Chariots become 1 Emperor, like that. What happens when you have 2 Emperors? So that's where the last icon comes in. When you already have 2 Emperors, when you do ultimate, the 2 Emperors will combine into this thing called Judgment. So the biggest summon. So this Judgment will always follow you at the cost of sanity. See how sanity is always decreasing? After that, you can just like fill up your army. Just spam summon until everything is maxed, and then you're ready for combat. So Judgment will always do a huge AoE every 3 seconds or so. Even faster when you have summon attack speed Demon Wedge. So this is generally what happens. Now let's talk about how to sustain all of these summons. Looking at the skills, normal skill, summon skill, you already know all this. I've already explained all of this. And for the ultimate, the very important thing to note over here is that during ultimate, whenever the summoner or the clone, the World, summons 1 Chariot, you will trigger another rally. So rally will give you 1 bonus Chariot. So every time you summon something, you will get 1 more bonus of the Chariot. Now, this will go hand in hand with her main passive. So her main passive is the one where you will get an infinite loop of new summons every time without doing anything. When an ally summons a unit, ally be it Ada or even Fushu, the World has a chance to perform another summon. So this chance is at 88% at level 10. So this will combo with the ultimate, where whenever you summon one chariot, you get another bonus chariot. You'll see what happens with Fushu. I have low sanity now, and then I'm gonna get all these bonus summons without doing anything. You see? Fushu's own summon will trigger the world's summons, extra summons. Every time she summons the bubble, I'll get free soldiers. And then this will synergize with Ada using her ultimate. Since Ada's ultimate drains her sanity over time, Fushu will always be using her bubble, and then you'll always get free soldiers. Of course, if I don't press E skill at I0, I will have gaps in my summons. You see how I only have 6 chariots now? 5 drops to 5, drops to 4, and I'm only counting on Fushu's bubbles to give me army, and I'll need to manually refill them. But not to worry, that's where her Introns come in to have a better perpetual loop of summons. Another interesting thing to note in her second passive is whenever she summons or an ally summons, she gets 2 sanity recovery, and the chance is scaled off skill efficiency times 60%. This isn't really an issue because when you have your sanity demon wedges, especially with Fushu around, her sanity is never gonna run out. For Ada, you want to prioritize leveling everything, starting with her ultimate, since ultimate directly scales the judgment's damage, the biggest summon, followed by her normal skill. Normal skill will scale the damage for the other 2 summons. And then also her passive. You want passive to be as high as possible, since higher passive gives you higher chance of getting a free summon anytime somebody also performs a summon. And for third passive will be attack bonus for herself and any Hydro allies by 50%, the usual stuff. Now let's talk about Introns. Intron 1 is really good. See, what happens is that whenever Judgment casts Parade, so whenever Judgment attacks every 3 seconds or less when you have the attack speed buff, there is a chance to create 1 summon. For Ada's endgame stats, 175% skill efficiency is more than 100%. Every time Judgment attacks, you will always get 1 chariot. So this will give you unlimited army. Basically, this is what's gonna happen. Every time Judgment attacks, I get 1 chariot. So look below. My army is always going up. I won't have to do anything anymore at I1. Like so. Now let's talk about I2. So in I2, whenever the Emperor is active, Emperor is the upgraded minion. It will consume 1 chariot to reset its duration. Basically, this will ensure that your army will never run out even more. And then thanks to I1 and other passive, you will always get chariots with anything you do. And the second upgrade, water projectiles fired by the Emperor are affected by the summoner's ranged weapon multi-shot. I'll get into Demon Wedge later, but this is all the more reason that you should always put multi-shot Demon Wedge for her weapon. So I have 3.7 over here. So I have Emperors now. See what happens? They have multi-shot now. I3 usual skill level increase. I4 is huge as well. When this character summons have more than 100% attack speed, the excess is converted into more skill damage at a 100% ratio. And secondly, when Judgment is active, so when her ultimate summon is active, your summons gain 30% attack speed and 25 auto pickup range. So they are gonna be on steroids, they're gonna be on crack. Basically, this is how fast they will be attacking. I'm gonna summon my ultimate. I'm gonna get my full army out. Okay. See how often Judgment attacks. Now with I5, skill level increase, Hello World level +1. If you already have it at level 10, level 12 Hello World will give you 100% trigger chance for extra chariot every time you do a summon. So you don't have to worry about the rates anymore. It's always guaranteed by this point at I5. As for I6, I6 is the usual where most characters get their penetration stats, 40% penetration stats during ultimate. And whenever chariot is destroyed, your ultimate summon has a 50% chance of doing an attack once. So what this actually means is that every time chariot dies, Judgment has a 50% chance of casting Parade. Parade is its normal attack. And if you remember what I1 does, every time Judgment casts Parade, there is a chance to summon Chariot again. So this will go into a constant loop again. By this point at I6, all of the summons will be doing crazy amount of damage. So like this, I'm gonna do my ultimate and get my army up. Now you can see how much damage they do. 24 million with all the penetration stats. And that's pretty much it. Ada is actually really simple to play. Just pop ultimate and just get all the soldiers out. But then understanding the passive is also another important thing. And last but not least, in her skills, she has a fun gimmick. If you press and hold down her skill, she goes into this little build mode, and then you can see furniture is being highlighted. So that you can click a furniture and make a whole copy out of it. It's like mostly for fun. I think you can do some goofy things in multiplayer mode with this. So you can click pretty much any furniture. They're not really physical though. You can walk through them. Mostly just like holographic. But yeah. Now you already know how she's played. Let's talk about her gear. So starting with character Demon Wedges. This is a cheat sheet you can refer to for her endgame stats. Siren's Wings Inspo Awakening. This one will be good for summons. So summons deal 1110% damage when skill efficiency is more than 165%. So this is very important. Try to hit skill efficiency. As you can already see, skill efficiency is really important for her whole build. Lots of things scaled from it. And for the middle Demon Wedge, you want to have Awakening. So this one gives you summon damage only if every Demon Wedge is unique. So you want every Demon Wedge to be one of a kind. And then followed by Blaze Inspo. Self-explanatory, attack and skill efficiency. Blaze Spectrum, attack and skill range. And then Sea Wave Wildfire for hydro, intensity, and range. Range will improve Judgment's AoE. Wings Volition for your sanity and intensity. Prime Morale for more morale and all the other stats. Volition Awakening for your summon damage and skill intensity. And this one is very important, Misty Veil. This one you must have for Ada. Basically, it gives you skill intensity, and also you gain an attack speed bonus equal to a certain percentage of your melee weapon attack speed, and also skill range boost equal to a percentage of your own skill range. So you know what this already means for her melee weapon. Melee weapon, you want to put all the attack speeds on her. Now, talking about melee weapon, Ada's proficient weapon is the pole arm. So there is a calamity weapon for this. If you have it, you can if not, you can equip anything like skill intensity, the classic Wayne Wraith if you want. Or you can also put attack speed based melee weapon if you want to push your Misty Veil Demon Wedge. But anyway, for melee weapons Demon Wedge, you can refer to this for endgame melee weapon. The most important thing right here is celerity for the attack speed. Celerity and focus celerity, both for the attack speed. You want your attack speed to go as high as you can so that you can benefit your Misty Veil. Everything else you can just put damage based Demon Wedge like attack, crit chance, crit damage, charge attack bonus. Now for her range weapon will be available in Immersive Theater called The Best Day. So the effect of this range weapon is that you get a morale bonus, and also whenever a Hydro character summons a unit, you get a stack of 7.5% damage dealt by summons for 18 seconds. And for the range weapon Demon Wedges, the most important ones are the foldovers. So foldover dexterity for multi-shot bonus, and foldover itself for the bigger multi-shot bonus. You want to push this as much as you can for her I2 effect, where the Emperor summons scale off the multi-shot. Everything else, you just put the offense-based Demon Wedges. As for a team, you've already seen it. You can just run her with Fina and Fushu, the classic support. Or you can also go full Hydro team with Rebecca. So Ada, Rebecca, and Fushu. All three of them will be triggering Ada's summon bonus like crazy. Cosmetics-wise, Ada's Snowlight Chase will also be available at this time. And it's also going to be upgradable all the way to like super shiny. Like so. There's also going to be a summer skin that's shared among characters. Azure Tights. And at the same time, Fushu's summer skin will also be rerun. This one's kind of peak as well if you're waiting for this. Azure Tights also suits her. But now let's talk about the recurring endgame Immersive Theater and Nocturnal Echoes. For Nocturnal Echoes, Hilda is now moved to the Eclosioner. So if you want to farm more Hilda dupes, you can start doing Eclosioner weeklies. And a really huge update this time is that Fushu is finally in the commissions shop, so you can farm her as long as you have secret letters. Very accessible to everybody. If you don't have Fushu, now's the time to get her. Or if you don't have Fushu at I6, now's also the time to get her. And in Hilda's place, Ada will be the current Immersive Theater. So make sure to farm Immortal Repertoire all the way to 12 floors, not that difficult, to get all her secret letters. As well as a weapon, The Best Day. For featured repertoire of Immersive Theater, where you need to go 2 teams, the recommended team this time will be Hydro and Umbro. For Hydro, you can use the classic water team, Rebecca, Fushu, and Tabithe. And for Umbro, you can use the newly acquired Flora team with main character and Fina. So this will easily carry you through the 5 floors each. And for Immortal Repertoire, where you need to push 12 floors to get all the secret letters of Ada and her weapon, you can use the Flora team, and this time you can bring Fushu over, so you have both supports ready. Fushu and Fina, and you set the element to either fire or lightning, and it should comfortably get you to 12 floors. And that's about it, guys, for this guide for Ada and this season's changes. Hopefully this has been helpful to you in understanding how to play her, and also for the recommended teams and Demon Wedges. Consider leaving a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.